Crystal Palace is hosting Arsenal at Selhurst Park. You know that very well. That's where the game is happening, and it's going to be airing tomorrow, 22 hours. That's when the game is happening. First game of the Premier League, and we are all excited that the Premier League is back, and we are here to bring you the match preview of Arsenal versus Crystal Palace in here onto the channel, which goes by names of Rokani Media Football. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in on a daily. Smash the like button, guys, and never watch this video and don't really hit and don't smash the like button, because you would have done something bad to us, we who really produce this content. So let's respect one another. Let's spread love by subscribing to this channel, guys. We are on to a road map of 10k subscribers. We're left with like 4,000 to hit 10k subscribers. I really believe that you can really help me on by really going to the lower right bottom corner, smash the subscribe button by smashing it, hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified each and every time I upload a video onto this channel. Now, Arsenal is going to play side which goes by the name of Crystal Palace in the for you. And without further ado, I would like to first show you the head-to-head between Arsenal and Crystal Palace. This is the head-to-head between Arsenal and Crystal Palace that you guys need to know in the for you, because you should know this before we really get into what news is happening at Arsenal in the for you. Arsenal and Crystal Palace, 4 wins for Palace, 14 for Arsenal. 29 goals scored by Crystal Palace, 48 goals scored by Arsenal. 4 clean sheets kept by Crystal Palace and 8 clean sheets kept by Arsenal. By far, Arsenal has really won very many games, but there are statistics that don't really add up very well that are so much recent about Arsenal and the side which goes by names of Crystal Palace, because it doesn't really look okay into the side of Arsenal. It doesn't look rosy in the garden of Arsenal when they've been playing Crystal Palace for the previous games in the for you, because it's really alarming down in there for you, and I would like really to show you what I'm talking about in there for you. You guys who are really taking Crystal Palace for granted, you should be knowing this. You should be knowing this, guys, that 1. Gabriel Martinelli is the only current player to have scored for the club in their Premier League opener, netting on his debut at Fulham in 2020-2021. So, on the players of Arsenal available, none of them has really never netted into the opening of the season as they were playing their Premier League opening game. So, Gabriel Martinelli is the only Arsenal player who has ever scored in the current Arsenal team. Quote that. I remember that game, Arsenal won it by 3-0. Gabriel Martinelli scored. Aubameyang, did he score? And I saw Willian even really score in the for you. So Arsenal won that game by 3-0, and that season really started on very well, but ended in tears for side which goes by names for Arsenal, and fans of Arsenal were saying Arteta out in there for you. So Gabriel Martinelli, watch him. He might really go ahead and really score for Arsenal into this game of Crystal Palace that is opening their season in the for you. A very much anticipated season from the Gunners and the fans of the Gunners in the for you. Then Crystal Palace have won their opening top flight league match in only 5 of their previous 22 seasons, with 7 draws and 10 losses in there. So it shows you that Crystal Palace are not good at winning their opening games. They've lost 10 and drawn 7 and won 5. It shows you that the most percentage is a loss, then followed by 7 draws, or a draw, and then wins. So wins come last when Palace are really coming in here to open up a Premier League. They're opening Premier League games in the for you. Now, there is this start again. Before I really get into what you guys really want to see a lot, I really want to show you this onto your screen before we really get straight into what has brought us here. We have that Arsenal have lost their opening Premier League match in 5 of their past 9 seasons, with 4 wins after losing their first match in just 1 of their 19 campaigns prior to this run. The Gunners lost 2-0 to Brentford. This is not a good statistic for Arsenal. You should really know that Arsenal has lost their opening league match in 5 of their last 9 seasons, meaning that you've lost 5 and won 4. this is not something good for Arsenal either for you. It's not a statistic that really goes ahead to really give Arsenal a very clean slate as far as this game of football is concerned, playing a side which goes by names of Crystal Palace in the face. So you should know that you are not safe according to the stats. So the stats, Arsenal are not safe. And this is the start that every Arsenal fan will go on and really know that it's not really a clean set for them. They're saying that Crystal Palace have lost just one of their past 8 Premier League games against Arsenal. Guys, have you heard? Crystal Palace have lost one of their past 8 Premier League games against Arsenal. They've lost 1 out of the 8. 2 draws, 2 wins, 5 draws. The Eagles are looking to win consecutive league games against the Gunners for the very first time in history. Remember, they really beat Arsenal by 3-0 at Selhurst Park last season in the second round of the Premier League, and now they are looking forward to go ahead and really consolidate this win of a side which goes by names of Arsenal. And I know it's not going to be a very good win, a very good game in the for you. So guys, don't come in here and really tell us that it's really clean. It's not going to be easy for you. You've seen the stats, but the good thing is that Arsenal looks so much improved in the for you. They have a number 9. In the game they lost against Brentford, Arsenal really never looked as a team that I really expected to look, because Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was away. Lacazette was not included because Balogun even led the line. Martinelli was not around. Gabriel Martinelli was not around. Ramsdale was not around. Was Bukayo Saka around? So Arsenal never had very many players in the field that could start into that position, especially the right back. Tomiyasu was not around. So they tried, but they couldn't really match Brentford because the intensity was so much beyond the ordinary in there for you. Now, let's see what the predicted lineup is going to be like when Arsenal is playing a side which goes by the names of of Crystal Palace in the for you. And I'm going to bring on screen that Crystal Palace side that Patrick Vieira played with in his last game at Selhurst Park, as they played the side which goes by the names of West Nice in the for you, and I want to show you how everything went down. So the system that Arsenal is going to play with is a 4-2 3-1. So that is the system Arsenal is going to go with. 4 defenders with 2 fullbacks and 2 central defenders, 2 midfielders playing in a double midfield pivot, 3 midfielders who are really attacking, and then 1 striker leading the line in here onto the Rokani Media Football. The game is happening tomorrow at Selhurst Park. Let's get into this. Goalkeeper, obviously, Aaron Ramsdale is returning into goal. Bernard Leno has left the side which goes by names of Fulham, and now he has his shirt number 1 with him, and you know what exactly this lad is all about, and that is Aaron Ramsdale in there for you. Then let's go to the right back. Obviously, Ben White in the last 3 games Arsenal played in the preseason against Everton for the last 45 minutes. Against a side which goes by the names of Chelsea, he played, I think, the entire 90 minutes. Against the side which goes by the names of Chelsea, he played good. Against Sevilla, he played 90 some good minutes in there for you as a right back. So I really believe that as Tomiyasu returns from injury, no reason for the manager to hurry him back to play into that position of the right back of Arsenal. I really believe that Ben White is really going to play in there for you as a right back. Let's go to the left back position and see who is really coming in through. Offside says Zinchenko, obviously making his debut against the side which goes by the names of Orlando City, and after playing against Orlando City played 45 minutes. Then he played against Chelsea. After playing against Chelsea, he played against Sevilla, and he is really a very good left back and good player to come in and compete for that left back with Kieran Tierney. Kieran Tierney is just returning from injury, and the doctor of Arsenal really had something to say about him, that he had a lot of fat in the foot and is trying to really go ahead and really cut it to see to it that he really doesn't get injured again, because this guy is young, but the way he's really getting injuries and his recovery is so much worrying, because he returns from injury and then goes back without not even playing a 45-minute mark into the game. Remember, he returned and played only for 30 minutes when Arsenal was playing Nuremberg, and obviously Kieran Tierney never returned. So He's back in training. The physio team of Arsenal is working on him, and they want to recondition him very well to come back and really see that he really gets the levels where he's supposed to be. So Zinchenko is going to play as a left fullback for Arsenal in there for you to this game of a side which goes by the names of Crystal Palace. Then we go to the central defenders. Obviously, William Saliba. William Saliba is going to play as a right. He's going to play in the central defense alongside Gabriel Magalhaes, with William Saliba playing on the right side of the central defense and Gabriel Magalhaes playing onto the left side of the central defense in here onto the Rokani Media Football. That is the back four of Arsenal. Pablo Mari is not going to play part of this because he's going to Monza in there for you. And we look at players like Rob Holding. He's going to be on the bench. So the back four of Arsenal is going to be having Ben White, right back, Zinchenko left back, Gabriel Magalhaes is playing on the left side of the central defense, and a player in the names of William Saliba returning from loan from Marseille and obviously dominating back, all taking over that position of Ben White where he used to play last season alongside Gabriel Magalhaes, and this time Saliba is playing on the right side of the central defense. Let's go to the dour midfield pivot of Arsenal and who is going to play in there for you. That is Granit Xhaka, obviously with Thomas Partey. Granit Xhaka is really a very good player, especially when you're complementing him with Thomas Partey, but amidst their presence in there for you, that man in shirt 5 known as Thomas Partey is the reason as to why Arsenal really had a very good season. In the games that he played, Arsenal had a winning rate. What was the percentage of winning? It was so much high. Every time he played, Arsenal could really get an average of 2.85 points in the games. Was it 3? Something in there for you. So it shows you that every time Arsenal plays with Thomas Partey, they're averaging 3 points every game. It shows you how crucial this guy is. And when he got an injury, that costed the season of Arsenal. Thomas Partey and TNT costed the season of Arsenal because Arsenal lacked realistic replacements for these players. That's why you saw that Arsenal was wanting Lisandro Martinez, and now they're having a player who goes by the names of Zinchenko, who can cover up very well. And you know that, all right, we are safe with Zinchenko in there for you. Now, after Zinchenko, Arsenal needs to solve that equation and problem of Thomas Partey. When Thomas Partey really gets an injury, I don't believe that Arsenal really have a player amongst the ones available to come in and do the needful into that position. Lokonga, not yet up there. El Nini, I know he's good at really passing and controlling the game, but Thomas Partey really has lots of things he does. Winning ground duels, winning the aerial duels. He's so hard. He's hard. The difference between Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka is that Thomas Partey is hard. Being hard is that you win a duel without committing a foul. But Granit Xhaka is rough. Every time, most of the times he wins a duel, it's always a foul and given to the opponents for you. So that is the double midfield pivot of Arsenal, but they need to work a lot on a man who goes by names of Thomas Partey. You need to put him in your prayer such that doesn't get an injury, and secondly, a replacement or a person to replace him every time he really gets an injury. All not even gets an injury, but when he is really not, when he has really played lots of games, because Arsenal is going to be playing in Europe this time around, so you need a Thomas Partey rest. You get? So the manager has to really monitor him very well and really know how to really keep him at the level of being fit and reserve him sometimes. So rotation should be really great, and the rotation should really go ahead to really get this player to the level supposed to be by bringing in another player like Yuri Tielemans, as has always been, into our call left, right, and center. This is the man of the moment who has gotten an achievement at Arsenal. After being at Arsenal for 1.5 years, Odegaard was crowned the captain of Arsenal, and Mikel Arteta really had a lot of things to say. I'm going to do what we call the press conference reaction to what Mikel Arteta said about this man who goes by names of Martin Odegaard. And you're really going to get to know that this guy is really loved by the manager. And before he was really given all this, and it was still a rumor, we had a story coming in from the Mirror that Mikel Arteta telephoned the manager of the Norwegian national team and told him, please, he's the right man to be the captain, because Mikel Arteta already saw him as his ears and eyes. Every time the ball really goes out, Mikel Arteta calls Odegaard and really tells him that, please, the instructions should be A, B, C, and D. tell this player to play like this, move in such and such triangles, these lanes should be really covered very well, you should play like this in the wide areas, so and so should cover in the half spaces, you get? So that's what Mikel Arteta really likes about Martin Odegaard. Born leader, at the age of 18 he was already the captain of the Norwegian national team. Why not captain this young side of Arsenal? Because none of the players available has with the experience of being a captain, but for him he's really so much equipped with being the captain of the national team of Norway, and now he's the captain of Arsenal. What an achievement, and I really believe in him, and I saw him really starting to connect very well with Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus. That connection, guys, look for it. Keep an eye on it this season. Martinelli, Odegaard, and Gabriel Jesus. It's going to be having the most number of goal involvements into the team of Arsenal. Because, and there is even Zinchenko. All right, I had forgotten Zinchenko. Watch out on Zinchenko, Martinelli, Odegaard, and Gabriel Jesus. Those 4 players, and remember, they almost play so much leaning onto the left side of the wide area and the left side of the half space. That is what you guys should know about this guy. Look at this area. Look at that area. That area that I'm really putting my arrow on, where Zinchenko plays. This is Zinchenko. So you are going to see a lot of activity into this area, especially in the attack. You get? Headed by Odegaard, Zinchenko, and Gabriel Jesus plus Martinelli. You guys, Arsenal is really going to be good in those attacking areas. So watch the space for Arsenal and the players where we're going to play that. So Odegaard starts as a central attack midfielder, and he really gives Arsenal the perfect control they want. And I know he is really going to release Gabriel Jesus very many times this time around, because has been always lacking that player. He always gets that pass to really run into spaces, and that player who really makes runs that really attract his beautiful pass. Obviously, there are a lot of killer passes in Odegaard, and Mikel Arteta said in his press conference after beating a side which goes by name Sevilla that Odegaard has now gotten a player who is really going to make those runs that are perfect to really enable him, release him, or unleash him with a killer pass. So if at all you are a good central attack midfielder, you can't really put out a killer pass when that centre forward has not made that run. So the centre forward needs to make that run. After making that run, obviously the rest becomes history, and then you really pass or release him into those spaces in the for you. Then Bukayo Saka, a man who really scored very many goals for Arsenal. He was the top scorer of Arsenal, player of the year for Arsenal this time round. I think pressure is going to be a lot on him. One, he needs to prove to us that he is the Bukayo Saka who was last season. He should either maintain what he did last season or add on a lot. But if at all he really goes below, criticism is going to come on him and pressure is going to be a lot on him. But I really believe that he has the big heart. He has self-belief in him, and is going to go ahead and really do the needful. Because if you're playing in such a position like Bukayo Saka, when Nicola Pepe has failed to dislodge you all put up and up competition, and your manager and technical director go in for a player like Rafinha, you have to sit down in your room and ask yourself, oh, am I really safe? Am I really giving them enough? If I was giving them enough, they wouldn't have gone for Rafinha. They would have gone for someone who is not the level of Rafinha at least. But Arsenal is still in the market looking for a left-footed player who plays as an inverted winger onto the right side of the attack midfield where Bukayo Saka plays, meaning that they will believe that there is something missing in the for you. Some flair is missing, and Bukayo Saka needs to really improve on his game and really certify these managers that plays. You guys, I can play in there for you, and I'm the real man and magician into this position. So Bukayo Saka really played well in the pre-season games. He first played that game of, they brought him in the game of Everton. Did he come in the game of Everton? All right, Everton. I think it was Everton, then Orlando City, then Chelsea, then Sevilla. So he scored in the game of Everton. He created an assist in the game of Orlando City. He scored in the game of Chelsea. He scored 2 goals in the game of Sevilla. So he's really on fire. Let's wait and see whether he can really translate his form in the preseason to the season. But we all know what he can do. And I really believe that he's really going to go ahead and really make it happen. That is Bukayo Saka in there for you. Gabriel Martinelli, the man I really love at Arsenal. Not supporting Arsenal, but their players I really love at Arsenal. I love mostly Odegaard and then Martinelli in there for you. Those 2 guys, as I told you that, watch along a little, put your eye onto Odegaard, Gabriel Jesus, Martinelli, and Zinchenko. Those guys are just a revelation, a breath of fresh air at Arsenal. It shows you that when a good player comes into a team really changes. Gabriel Martinelli is really looking different in that way because of his connection with Zinchenko and Odegaard. When you see those passes they make, look at that perfect goal that Odegaard scored against Chelsea, that second goal. You saw how Martinelli really waited for him. He was like anticipating that Odegaard is going to come and run into that space. So those spaces and triangles created by Arsenal really create spaces where a ball can be passed. That's what I told you, that a good run made by a player enables a player, a creative midfielder, to really find spaces and put out that pass. You get? So if at all Odegaard never made that run, where would we have gotten that pass from Odegaard? Sorry, from Martinelli. You get? So 100% believe that that pass is really so much important in there for you. And Odegaard acts so much into the half spaces and leaves the wide areas for Zinchenko. That's why I'm telling you that I see a lot of magic on the left side of Arsenal. You see even Gabriel Jesus, roves so much onto the left side. You saw him in the game of Sevilla. You get? That first goal he scored after Bukayo Saka scoring a penalty. He was on the left side. Then he passed into Granit Xhaka. Xhaka tried to really cut inside and he cuts back and then tries to put that ball. It's a very reflected by the goalkeeper and then it finds Odegaard and then taps it to the back of the net. So it shows you how good that side is in the for you, the left hand side. So who is leading the line? Obviously, the man of the moment, he is Gabriel Jesus. I really love him and he's really good. And people are really not giving him what he deserves. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to give you my predictions of the Premier League. Especially, I'm going to first do a video onto my Golden Boot winners. I think he's one of them. People are not giving him chance, but I really believe that amongst the strikers been having in the Premier League, that people have been underlooking, it's Gabriel Jesus. People are saying that he was not good enough. That's why Pep Guardiola never played him as a number 9. No, Pep Guardiola doesn't have a permanent number 9, not until he brought in Haaland. It happened way back when he still had Kun Aguero because he knew that it was so much clinical. But he never really believed in Gabriel Jesus as a number 9, complete number 9. But to me, I really believe that this guy is a complete number 9. He is a complete number 9 and Arsenal is going to benefit a lot from him. So that is the starting 11 of Arsenal predicted by me and my team in here onto the Rokani Media Football. So guys, feel free to go into the comment section. Tell me what you think about a side which goes by names of Arsenal and that predicted lineup. That's what I've come in for. And I don't know what you think about that team that I've put out there for you, because I really believe that that's the team that Mikel Arteta is going to front tomorrow at a side which goes by names of Selhurst Park. That's the side I really believe that he's going to front tomorrow at the side which goes by names of Selhurst Park. I don't know who do you think is really going to be in and out. I don't know either for you, but that is the side I really believe that he's really going to come in for you. So let's get into a team which goes by names of Crystal Palace. When you look at Crystal Palace is really a team that is not a soft nut to crack in there for you, because it's really a very good team. You get? It's really a very good team, and when you look at how we expect them to stand, they're really going to be having the following players in there for you. And I'm trying to really get some players in there for you. Obviously, Zaha is returning. There is it Zayday? So let's see in here for you. From Sports Mall, they're showing us that they are going to be having Guita in goal, Nathan Klein as a right back, Anderson and Guhechi playing in the central defense, Michel playing as a left back. He's one of those players that I never knew that Sky Sports was talking about the best players in the for you outside the top 4 in the for your top 6. He's one that really named in the for you, but I'm going to give an eye on him this time around because I really believe that he might be a very good player that I've not put an eye on. But I'm going to watch him a lot because he's the guy who's really going to be facing Bukayo Saka, so I'm going to be putting a keen eye on him. Then Scalp, Dokore and Eze are going to be in the midfield 3 of a side which goes by the names of Crystal Palace. Then Ayu, Eduardo and Zaha are going to lead the line for a side which goes by the names of Crystal Palace. So I'm waiting to see how the back four of Arsenal is going to deal with Jordan Ayew, Eduardo, and Zaha, because Zaha is really a player who chooses to play against big teams. You get? he really chooses to play against big teams and really does the needful and really causes a lot of havoc and danger to these teams in the field. So 100% believe that that's going to be Crystal Palace. The midfield battle is going to be in between Thomas Partey and Grant Xhaka versus players like Dokore in there for you, and another player who goes by the names of Scalp in the for you. Those three players are really going to be really on a battle. And now let's look at Klein is going to be facing Martinelli. That is one of the battles I'm really going to really look at and know, because the way Martinelli plays his game of football is really exciting and really leaves you into question who is really going to come in and do the needful in the field. Because when you look at the player who goes by names of Martinelli, he runs into those half spaces very well and leaves that line in the wide area for Zinchenko. So those passes coming in from Ben White. Remember that pass that Ben White did onto the second goal of Arsenal? Did you see what he did? He laid that ball wide. It was, I think, the third goal that Martinelli really created for Gabriel Jesus. If you saw that game very well, if you saw that goal very well, Ben White was at the center line, then he really floated that ball onto the left wide area of the pitch. Martinelli controls this very well. He sees the run of Gabriel Jesus. He reads his run like a book and lays that pass. And Gabriel Jesus from nowhere slid into that ball with the back of the net. So Arsenal has very many weapons to use that left flank. And Nathan Klein and the defender who is playing on the right side of the central defense is really going to be having a lot of problems. That is, Henderson needs to watch in that a lot in the for you. And I don't know who's going to stop Odegaard. in the for you, but Odegaard is also going to be another threat in this game of football, and they should keep a keen eye on him, because he's really that man that comes in here with you and really creates problems for the opponents in the for you. And Saka versus Michel is going to be another battle you're going to enjoy. And the good thing is that Michel will be having some relief, because Ben White is not good going forward, but he does most of his work at the center half. His passing is his weapon. You see, by the way, if you never knew that, one of the best passers into that central defense into that back four of Arsenal is Ben White. I think no one passes better than him. He has a good long pass on him, short pass on him. He does wall passes. He does one touch football in there for you. So he's really great and he's confident on the ball. So Arsenal is having a back four that is so much confident on the ball. Look at Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba. So they're going to be facing Eduardo. They're going to be facing Zaha. They're going to be facing Jordan Ayew in a 4-3-3 system. That back four has shown us that they can really resist anything that's coming in through. When you look at Aaron Ramsdale too is going to be so much pivotal into this season in there for you, by playing very many games for Arsenal last season, and he really kept clean sheets for a side which goes by names of Arsenal. I think they're 13 in his entire season, his debut season at Arsenal. He created a lot of hopes into those players, onto those fans of Arsenal, and they expect him to really improve in the for you. And as the World Cup is around the corner, he's one of those players that should be so much pivotal to really show Gary Southgate, the manager of the England national team that plays, I'm ready, I'm better than Pickford. You get Pickford is playing for Everton, but the manager is still trusting him. But remember, even Dean Henderson is at Nottingham Forest, but this gives Aaron Ramsdale an advantage that, for me, I'm playing at a side which goes by names of Arsenal that is so much good in there for you. Amongst other the goalkeepers of England, I think he is the one who is playing for the big team. Dean Henderson is a Manchester United player, but he's on loan at Nottingham, and according to what the words he really put out in the media, I don't see him returning to Manchester United. That he was kept like a prisoner for close to 18 months at Manchester United. So that is a man who goes by the names of Dean Henderson. So Ramsdale, I think, with his ball passing ability, he's a sweeper goalkeeper, his ball distribution is on point. I think if at all he's consistent, he might really work hard and really change the world and change the mind of the manager of a side which goes by the names of England. But all in all, his communication with the back four is so much good. I think he's really having good relationship with them. But that man, Gabriel Jesus, we've not talked a lot about him, but he's really good. He has scored 7 goals and 1 assist. So it shows you that in the games he played for Arsenal, were they 5? He played against Nuremberg, he played against Orlando City, he played against Everton, he played against Chelsea, he played against Sevilla. 5 games, scoring 7 with 1 goal scored, meaning that he was involved in 8 goals in 5 games. That's a very good output. If Atoli can really translate that performance in the preseason to this season, he's really going to be a very pivotal guy at Arsenal. And I think people are really underrating him, but I see him scoring lots of goals. And amongst the list of my Golden Boot winners in the Premier League this season, trust me, Gabriel Jesus is among. You might hate him or not love him, but he's among my Golden Boot winners in there for you. Anthony Taylor is going to be the referee in this game of Arsenal. Arsenal really has a record that is not so much good on him, but they've won most of the games, but he has given them very close to 30 yellow cards in the games as really officiated, and very many more in there for you. So that's what I had for you in this channel, which goes by names of Rokani Media Football. As far as this Arsenal game is concerned, that is how I really believe Arsenal is going to go ahead and really do the needful in there for you to go and do this game in there for you. But as I really get out of this, there is something I really believe that you guys should be knowing either for you. For the last time, let me flash it on your screen. Don't think that Crystal Palace is a hard nut to crack, because Arsenal has been really winning very many games according to them, but this Crystal Palace side is saying we are really coming in here hard and hard and so much tough. So when you look on your screen, Arsenal and Crystal Palace have played 26 Premier League games altogether. Crystal Palace has 4 wins, Arsenal has 14. 29 goals scored by Crystal Palace, 48 scored by Arsenal. 4 clean sheets kept by Palace. Arsenal has kept 8. It shows you that this is something great in there for you. But in the last 8 games, Arsenal has only won 1 game against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace has won 2, and I think they've drawn how many? Is it 5? So it shows you that Crystal Palace and Arsenal is always a tight fixture, and you know it's always a London derby because these 2 teams are in London and Arsenal is playing in London. So we are waiting to see what Patrick Vieira is going to do in the fight. But that intensity I saw Arsenal put up in the game of Chelsea, in the game of Sevilla, if they can really put up and really start off this game in style and get the first goal early enough, they would have sabotaged the plan of Patrick Vieira. If you want to sabotage a manager like Patrick Vieira when he's playing big teams, what you do is you don't have to allow him to score fast. You have to go on the score sheet fast. You have to go on target fast. So I think Arsenal should go on the target fast. With the way they played against Sevilla, when they come in this game with that plan, that in the first 10 minutes we have to put up that relentless pressing against Crystal Palace, and we shouldn't allow them to play. And we should steal that ball very many times and win it and create chances and score, then we will be in a better position. I will believe that that should be the position and plan for Mikel Arteta as far as this game of football is concerned against Crystal Palace. So guys, my prediction, I really believe that it's going to be 3-1 Arsenal. 3-1 Arsenal in the fight, but it's not going to be an easy one. It's not going to be an easy one, but I really believe that Arsenal is going to go in and win this game because they are far a much better team. They are much better team. That guy, Gabriel Jesus, Odegaard, Martinelli, Zinchenko, they're really going to go in and really cause havoc. Plus Bukayo Saka, I really believe that they're really going to cause havoc in there for you. And with the return of people like Tomiyasu, Kieran Tierney, Fabio Vieira, so it looks like Arsenal is so much beefed up into that game, and they're really looking in for more signings. The manager has confirmed that more signings are being looked at Arsenal, and they expect more to come in through from the board in there for you. I go by the names of Rokani David. Your predictions are welcome in the comment section below. Tell me, who do you think is winning this game of football between Arsenal and the side which goes by the names of Crystal Palace? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in on a daily. I sign out for now. See you later. If I've missed out on anything, I've just forgotten about it. You know, I'm someone who doesn't even jot down anything. I just really sit down, recap with my brain, then I come in camera and I really give you what my brain has given me with my team as we start and discuss it for you. So I really believe that Gabriel Jesus is going to be in the score sheet. I really believe that he's scoring in his first Premier League debut of Arsenal. Then Zaha and Jordan Ayew are really going to be so much pivotal into this game of football as far as Arsenal is concerned. Those battles, Zaha versus Ben White, Jordan Ayew versus Zinchenko, then Eduardo versus Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba. Then another battle that you should watch about, Nathan Klein, the right back of Crystal Palace, versus a man who goes by the names of Bukayo Saka. There is another battle you're going to see between the midfield of Dokore versus Thomas Partey. You should watch onto that battle. All of those are physically strong, and we're going to see how that is going to happen in that midfield either for you. Then remember, they lost Gallagher. Gallagher is still at Chelsea. We don't know whether they're going to run him or really keep him at Chelsea either for you. Another battle is going to be between Michel, the left fullback of Crystal Palace, and the right attacking midfield of Arsenal known as Bukayo Saka. Then Anderson in there for you, facing Gabriel Jesus. That's another battle that we can't stop talking about in there for you. But remember, this game of football is happening tomorrow, and Arsenal is playing Crystal Palace. Premier League is back. Your predictions are welcome. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're already watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do uploading on a daily. Remember, we are wanting to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of this month. I'm out.